Welcome to a game day edition of Boy Green Daily. New York Jets, Baltimore Ravens, plus what the hell happened in that Notre Dame Syracuse game? We'll get into that too. Boy Green Daily starts now.
I'm going to lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Let's go!
Put your seatbelts on. Get ready for the ride. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Paul Ashton Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcast. Now, not to freak out any of the passengers that are potentially on my flight, you may be saying, wow, I'm seeing Boy Green live, but I'm looking at him, and right now he's sitting in a seat on an airplane. Well, folks, we're pre-recording this. As you guys are watching this will be the first time you're seeing it, but we are recording this on Saturday night for Sunday morning's consumption. That's, of course, because all the plane travel from this Notre Dame game, which we'll talk about in just a second, is occurring at the same time as our flights and things of that nature. So long story short, I'll get back to the New York area about an hour-ish before kickoff of the New York Jets-Ravens game, which will be with you likely for the second half of Jets-Ravens play-by-play watch party. So stay tuned to the channel, and we'll keep you posted on all of that. But before we get to Jets-Ravens pop, and we'll give our gut feel and things of that nature, we had a Father's Day belated weekend here with Syracuse Notre Dame, and Syracuse losing 70-7 was the final score of that contest. Some defensive pick sixes, some blocked punts, touchdowns, and everything else in the group. So, Pop, what'd you make of that experience? Yours and mine, our first game ever at South Bend.
Hey, now, I would tell you that if you've never been, the pomp, the circumstance, being on the campus on game day, the marching band escorting the football players into the stadium as they march across campus, it's an amazing thing to see, and we got to see that. That was it really truly leaves you speechless. And it must have left Syracuse speechless because they stunk the house out. It was within the first 4 minutes of the game, they were down 21-0, and the offense hadn't stepped foot on the field. Right. For Notre Dame, had not stepped foot on the field. Yep. 2 interceptions, returned for a touchdown. 1 block punt, returned for a touchdown. And then when Notre Dame did get the ball, it was a 2-play drive for a touchdown. So it was 28-0, 5 minutes into the game. Yes, it was something to behold.
I would tell you this also for Notre Dame fans that may be in our audience that sort of balance in both worlds. If you can do what I'm about to say, I would suggest it. Not everyone has the first world ability to be able to do this. I flew in, and my father flew in Thursday night. The game's on Saturday. So we got to spend all of Friday checking off Rudy-like bucket list items. The grotto, which people have asked about, lighting a candle just like you do in the movie, Touchdown Jesus, the bookstore, which has all kinds of wonderful Notre Dame artifacts and shirts and hats, and sort of getting a chance to peruse. And then to my father's point, today, which is Saturday, but you guys are watching this on Sunday, to get the game day atmosphere. The campus is electric. And there's just, I think the most prominent word to say is tradition, which is very cool for Notre Dame, which, again, I'm from Syracuse, so people may say, wait, Paul, full Notre Dame gear, Syracuse guy, what the hell's going on? I was born and raised a Notre Dame fan, but we moved to the Syracuse area in 2008, so we got season tickets, and I became a Syracuse transplant. But anytime Syracuse and Notre Dame played, my allegiances were revealed that I was a Notre Dame guy. And I would tell you that was pretty cool. So getting to the player walkthrough, which they go from the Basilica to the stadium, which was terrific. Seeing Marcus Freeman and Jeremiah Love and all the players and everything was a wonderful experience and really cool. on tradition. So it was magical, absolutely magical.
Yeah, and definitely the Friday, there was less people there. We went early, not that early. We were on campus about 10 a.m., and we get to do everything. The crowds progress throughout the day, but that's definitely the way to go.
No doubt about it. So again, for any of the Notre Dame fans in the audience, it was such a cool experience. Syracuse got their ass kicked by Notre Dame, and I felt no conflicting feelings whatsoever. I enjoyed every single second of it. And again, for Notre Dame, while in some respects, right, the spread heading into this week was 35.5 points, Notre Dame had to beat Syracuse. They did, and they have to beat Stanford next week to be in the college football playoff as an independent. For shout out to our Rudolph fans out there.
I know.
I want to be independent. What does that mean? Well, that means Syracuse has no conference college championship game to play in, which can be good and bad. Sometimes teams need that as another opportunity to build up the resume. For Notre Dame's case, they didn't. After losing the first 2 games of the season, they've been on this red-hot winning streak. So all they have to do is take care of business next week, beat Stanford. But this was senior day. This was the final home game of the season for the Fighting Irish. And, so shout out to Jeremiah Love, who continues his ballad for the Heisman Trophy, and we'll see if he can continue to put himself in that conversation. So I did want to get some Notre Dame stuff out there, and Pop, we talked a little bit about it yesterday, but any final notes and quotes on the Irish before we go Jets Ravens on people? Again, a lot of magical stuff occurred over the weekend.
Yeah, you just got to go if you can go. It's amazing. The tickets, plenty of seats were still available. They're not crazy or commensurate with other ticket price, not Syracuse ticket prices, but they're commensurate with reasonable ticket prices that's what you pay. I would say, and then if you don't know, if Jeremiah Love does not get invited to New York City for the, I don't know what the Heisman people are doing. 177 years. I haven't looked. I would tell you he's in the 1,400 yard range, which is just phenomenal. He is a sight to behold. And my wife, who doesn't always watch Notre Dame football, she watched a few of his runs. She's like, that guy Jeremiah Love, he's pretty fast. Yes,
can confirm.
Yes.
Can confirm. I'll give you guys a couple of Notre Dame stories before we get to Jets Ravens. First off, we got to see Jerome Bettis. For those who don't know, Notre Dame has a very rich history with Heisman Trophy winners and Hall of Famers, both in pro football and the College Football Hall of Fame. For those who don't know, Jerome Bettis' son goes to Notre Dame. So as we were sitting after watching the player walkthrough and sat on the bench, because you have to stand for like 2 hours just to get the chance to do the player walkthrough. And I'm glad we did, because it was a surreal experience, but we had to like rest and go, oh, Jesus, we're standing forever. So we sit on this random bench, and I see Jerome Bettis walk by. I'm like, Jerome Bettis? And Pop shows the bus and gives a shout out to him, which was cool. So shout out to that. It was cold as balls. I don't know the official temperature check looking at the phone. But a tradition, apparently, we talked about tradition earlier. A lot of Notre Dame fans, a lot of guys out there start stripping off their shirts in the very brutal, cold, chilly temperatures. And then they peer pressured a bunch of other people that, the college guys that are doing it right, they're all ripped up, 12 packs. They can show their bodies off to the world. And then they start encouraging others. Hey, YOLO. Time is just a thing. Like, come on, join us. So a couple of fat guys said, yeah, all right. And they went, yeah, woo. So
not these fat guys.
No, I can confirm. If they would have pointed at me and said, which is what they basically did, it went, guy. And then someone go, woo, like it's spring break 1985. And there was a lot of that going on. I think there was some instant regret, right? You get the emotional charge for like 3 seconds of taking your shirt off, and the crowd claps, and sort of some of that action. So there were some of those fat guys that were getting all crazy. I will say the Notre Dame game, because again, the kickoff was at 3:30, so obviously we started in daylight. But by the time we got to the end of the game, we started getting the lights on and the songs and the leprechaun mascot getting involved. So the atmosphere was electric. Again, it was a ritual animal slaughtering to the football gods, 70-7, but it was pretty cool. And I know, again, this is Boy Green Daily, a daily Jets video show, not an Irish video show. But a cool thing about what I love to do here is that we let you into our lives or my life or our life or whatever happens to be the case with people tuning in. So hopefully all the Irish fans, you guys enjoyed some of this conversation, talk about the Notre Dame football team and this journey, and hopefully all those out there in the universe that beyond just the Jets that we talk about, we're a family and you guys get to hear all the ebbs and flows in my life, sometimes great, sometimes bad, something in between, but we always shoot you straight. So hopefully that's something you guys appreciated. So without further ado, Pop, let's get into it. Jets Ravens, just from a straight up casual football fan perspective, Baltimore's expected to run through the New York Jets by the point spread and all of these other things, but that's why they play the games, and it doesn't always, work out in a way where it is just what people think it is.
Okay. Sorry, I had a breaking news.
Oh boy, here we go. What's this?
The game, as a lot of games like the Ice Bowl, the Music City Miracle, their games have names, have themes. It's very exciting.
Yeah.
And so I just got the commissioner of the NFL just called me.
All right.
And the Ravens Jets game for tomorrow has been officially titled Sheergate.
I believe Beard Bowl, maybe
Sheergate
again.
Sheer.
That's the worst sheep I've ever heard, and I prefer that never comes out of your mouth again. But I will say this for those who don't know what the hell's going on, and they've been tuning in sporadically, if this is your first experience of Boy Green Daily, I did a bet with a fan on the show. His name's Alon, and if the Jets lost to the Patriots and Ravens over the last 2 weeks, it's less than 2 weeks because the Jets played on Thursday Night Football for the Patriots game, then they have this Ravens game, that I would have to shave a significant piece of my beard off. So not down to the stubs, thankfully, but it's pop, but even shorter than that. So, which not great. So all we need to do is have the Jets win today. I want the Jets win today because I'm a Jets fan and I don't give a shit about tanking. I want to win as many games as possible, but also I have special interest because of this beard and my brand and my family. My fiance digs the beard. My kids dig the beard. They pull it all the time. So, that would be less likely in the shaved state it would be in. So let's hope for the Jets for an upset win. They're going to need some magic. Tyrod Taylor gets his second start of the season, but first start by choice. Week 3, he had to play because of injury. So this would be his second start of the season. So we'll see. It's a revenge game for Tyrod Taylor, who started his NFL career with the Baltimore Ravens, and a couple other revenge games. John Simpson, Brandon Stevens. The Jets are going to need some magic. Going back to the Notre Dame game just for a second, the things that happened at the beginning of that game is exactly what Syracuse needed to happen, but not against them, for them. Defensive touchdowns, special teams touchdowns. When a team is favored over you by a significant margin, you need additional play opportunities for that to happen. And Syracuse had that in the opposite way of feeding the Notre Dame beast. What the Jets need is to make some additional things happen. The thing is that they should get a plus in the passing game because Justin Fields was throwing 60 yards a game. Tyrod Taylor is going to throw much more than that. They're going to have to feature a lot of Garrett Wilson or Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson's unavailable. But I will be excited about the young receivers on the roster are going to get some opportunities. Adonai Mitchell, John Mechie III, Arian Smith, who didn't play a lot last week. Mason Taylor is another one who should be involved. Aaron Glenn had a speech about that this week. So they're going to need some upset magic and some of the additional extra opportunities if Kene Nguanu is able to play, Isaiah Williams. And again, the Jets don't have a pick on defense. If they go through this game without a pick, they'd be the first team in NFL history to not record an interception through the first 12 weeks of a season.
That's true.
So they're going to need some of that if they hope to make the upset here. So give us your pick, Pop. Who do you got in this game?
Yeah, so without Garrett Wilson,
right?
Mason Taylor has been apparently suited up to play, but has been absent.
Yeah, that's what the stats say.
It's very confusing. The Jets and some of you get to the second or third wide receiver last year and this year, they just disappear. Like Arian Smith, we are all excited. We all had people defending it. He's not going to drop the ball. He's the speedster. We just haven't given them the ball. And it's time. Because is he worthy of staying on the team, right? Is he Is he going to have a roster spot in 2026? These are the things that it's obviously exciting to play the game and win the game, but there's learnings that can happen too. Who's going to be? Do we have wide receiver 2? Why are we not throwing the ball? The fans don't know. It's been silent. Is it like Malachi Corley? He just doesn't know how to run routes. It just seems odd. So I think getting Aaron Smith the ball. All that being said, without 2 of the better defenders on defense against Lamar Jackson, who, when he's on the field and healthy, has been an MVP, top 5 MVP candidate, or winning it for the past 5 years. I just think the Jets are going to struggle. Tyrod, I would normally say knock the rust off, but he's fragile. So let's just brush it off. Don't knock it off. He might break his leg. So I just, unfortunately, it's going to be Sheergate is going to happen. 401, get your Boy Green membership donations in so we can get to 100 before Wednesday. Then not only will Boy Green lose the bet, you'll get to see the Sheeropotamus, Brutus the Barber Beefcake, is going to come in and trim that beard live. You can see the effects afterwards. We get 100 memberships by Wednesday morning, and you're going to be able to see it live.
Again, yes, if the Jets lose to the Ravens, the bet is I have to lose the beard. So that has to happen if they lose. But if 100 memberships comes in after the game, so after the scores final, let's say it's 401, well, that'd be a quick game. We'll see if it ends up being 401. If it ended up being that from the end of that game till like Wednesday, Thursday, Thanksgiving, around that time, if the memberships come in by then the beard shaving will happen live. You guys will see it on this YouTube channel, youtube.com/boygreen25. If it does not come through, so the people just don't care or whatever, it doesn't happen in that way. The beard shaving will still take place. Just one show you'll see this, and then one show you won't. That's just how it'll work from that perspective. I would say I'm excited for Adonai Mitchell. Tyrod Taylor should give him a lot more opportunities, and Justin Fields was able to get to him because of a lack of accuracy. So I'm excited for him. I'm excited for this Baltimore Ravens opportunity. No one gives the Jets a lick of a chance. Those are the games I prefer. You go in there with absolutely, nothing to lose. Everyone expects you to lose. So go in there, throw everything at the kitchen sink. Let's see some more of the crazy plays at the Bengals game where we have a Breece Hall RB option pass play in the red zone. So we'll see if Tanner Angstrom can take it to his bag and see what the offense is supposed to look like with Tyrod Taylor. Should be interesting, to say the least. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Again, this is a special, much shorter edition of our game day episode than what normally takes place. But again, I will and am, as you're watching this, in travel on an airplane as this show is happening live right now. I'm in 2 places at once for any of the Boy Green Daily fans that are on the same plane I am right now. But again, we should be back in time. Again, I'm setting up some things. Some things are outside my control with travel, but we should be able to be on for the second half of the live watch party and play-by-play if you guys have been tuning into that all season. So I should be able to get home in time to be able to do that with all the travels. So if so, you'll see me right back here on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/boygreen25. If for some reason that's not possible, you guys will see me for the post-game show either way. So I will be there for that. Pop, any final thoughts?
All right. Don't forget 401. Get those memberships in. Take that like button to Pound Town and share. Spread the gospel of the Boy Green Coffee Club.
The only thing is, I wish Pop he's taking a little too much sick pleasure in the Jets losing, which is sort of unbecoming. 401, tune in. The Jets obviously going to lose, and my son's going to have to shave his beard. Again, it just seems sort of weird, but everyone seems all peppy, excited. I'd love for you guys to tune into the postgame show for a massive upset win over the Ravens. A lot of you guys, a little quieter, I imagine, from that perspective. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in again to this very special edition of Boy Green Daily. We will be back tomorrow morning with another edition of Boy Green Daily, getting you ready as we continue to progress forward here. But either way, thanks everybody for tuning in, and we will see you next time here on the channel. Make sure, a reminder, like the video. That's a free way to contribute to this program. If you did send in any super chats on this show, I did not get to them, but I will make sure I rewatch this and give you proper credit on a future live episode here of Boy Green Daily. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.